On today's episode of Health Spark, we're going to talk about cleaning our body's filters. So stay tuned. Hi, and welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. If you own a house, then you know that regularly, every 3 to 6 months, it's very important that we change the air filters on our furnace so that we maintain clean, healthy air to breathe in our home. And if you have a car, I'm sure that you get it maintained by getting regular oil changes and often changing the air filters in our car so that we too can have clean air to breathe while we drive around our vehicles. Much like these other things in our lives, our body has natural filtration systems, and they too need a break or a cleanse every so often to ensure that they work optimally to do the job that they are meant to do. And so today we're going to dive in and talk about our body's filtration systems and how we can help them to work at their best. So what are we talking about here? When we're talking about our body's filtration systems, we're talking about two key players, our liver and our kidneys. I'm going to start by talking about our kidneys. Our kidneys' main job is to remove toxins from our blood, and they do this quite efficiently when they are working optimally. Our kidneys can filter up to 1 liter of blood per minute, meaning our kidneys can filter all of the blood in our body every 5 minutes. Not only do our kidneys filter our blood from toxins and medications, but they also help to maintain our mineral levels, our potassium, our sodium, and they also create hormones that help to regulate our bone strength and our blood pressure. They have a lot of important functions, and so it is important that we take care of them and make sure they are running optimally. The number one thing you can do for your kidneys is drink water. Water allows our kidneys to take any toxins that it has removed from our blood and push it out of our body via our bladder in the form of urine. But if we don't give our kidneys enough water to do this important process, the filters in our kidneys often get blocked up, and this can lead to kidney stones, infections, bladder infections, urinary tract infections, and kidney infections. So it really is important to hydrate every day and throughout the day to maintain good levels of water in our body so that our kidneys can work the way they were designed. Some of the biggest challenges our kidneys face today are the overuse of antibiotics and over-the-counter medicines like NSAIDs, Advil or Tylenol. Using these long-term or on a very regular basis over time can cause damage to our kidneys. It becomes too much and overwhelms them, and that is when we start to see our kidneys breaking down. And the other big challenge that overwhelms our kidneys on a daily basis is overconsumption of sugar, and specifically processed sugar. So ultimately, if you want to improve your kidney health, you want to reduce the levels of processed sugar you take in every day, increase the amount of water, and another great throw-in is garlic, especially fresh garlic that has been crushed. It releases different enzymes, one of which is called allicin, and it is a compound that has been found to be as beneficial as prescription medicines in aiding in kidney health. We will come back near the end of the show and talk more specifically about ways that we can clean our kidneys along with our liver. But first, I really want to talk about our liver. It is an amazing organ. Not only does it aid the kidneys in filtering toxins and alcohol and caffeine from our blood, but it helps us to synthesize protein, meaning when we eat foods that are high in protein, it helps to break that protein down to make it available for our body and our muscles to use. It supports our metabolism in our ability to break down fats and sugars and utilize those in our body. It aids in the digestion of food, in storage of vitamins, and it helps support our immune system, which is so important if you have a chronic immune condition. But what many of you may not be aware of is that there have been many studies that have actually found consuming high amounts of processed sugar is as damaging, if not more damaging, than alcohol to our liver. This was discovered because there has been a dramatic increase in the amount of cases of something called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Doctors around the world were seeing patients who had livers that looked much like those of people who drank a lot of alcohol on a regular basis. Yet these patients drank zero or almost zero amounts of alcohol. And it took a lot of study and a lot of time for them to figure out what was happening here. And the problem was sugar. In North America and in Western diets, we have a lot of ultra-processed foods. And the reality is that those foods contain high amounts of processed sugar, often in the form of fructose, such as high fructose corn syrup. The reason high fructose corn syrup and other processed sugars are so harmful to our body is because the amount of fructose available in these small amounts is 10, 20, 100 times what we would take in naturally through fruits. And when we eat fruit, we also have the benefit of the fiber that comes along with the flesh of the fruit, and it is processed very different in our body. We cannot overdose on fructose in apples. The amount of apples you would need to eat would be impossible to consume in one sitting. Yet in just a small processed bite of a chocolate bar or candy, we can consume what we would find in over 100 apples. And our body is not used to taking that much fructose at one time. And what happens is our body sends out insulin to grab onto all of those molecules of sugar and to escort them off to be stored as fat. Now, most of the time, this will be stored as subcutaneous fat. That is fat below our skin. And while that's not necessarily appeasing for us to look at, we don't want to see cellulite or muffin tops or areas that are growing larger with fat stores. The good news is that those fat stores are not as harmful to our body. Although over time, if we get enough of them, it can start to create inflammation and lead to other compounding factors for our health. When it becomes dangerous to our health is when our body reaches its set point, and everyone's set point is different. That is based in sort of our genetic code. And it doesn't mean that we are necessarily obese. Some people can appear quite thin, but their body's fat line, their set line, is lower than others, which means once their body hits that point, it starts to store the fat around our organs. And that is when it can become very problematic for our health. And this is what's happening in non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. These people's bodies have hit their set point, and it starts, the liver starts to take on some of that fat and store it around and in the liver tissue. And fat that is stored around any tissue can deactivate parts of that tissue and make it far less effective, which means our liver then becomes far less able to regulate our hormones, to help with our immune system, to boost our metabolism, and to clear our body of toxins. And it starts this downward spiral into what can end up leading to cirrhosis of the liver, where we now have scarring and damage that cannot be reversed. And this can get pretty serious. The good news is there are lots of simple things that we can do to reverse non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and to cleanse and support our liver and kidneys for optimal function. Some of the simple things we can do are to eat diets that are high in fiber, as fiber supports our liver health. Eating more citrus fruits or even zesting them into our water. The enzymes from citrus fruits help prevent liver disease and help to cleanse our liver. And much like our kidneys, drinking lots of water also supports our liver. Keeping our body and our organs well hydrated will support all of them in being able to have optimal health, to work optimally for us so that we can enjoy overall health. Taking regular probiotics, whether in a supplement form or via fermented foods like kimchi or sauerkraut, are also great for the liver. And a few foods that are good for the liver include coffee, but black, without sugar and cream in it, green tea, prickly pear, which has long been used to help with liver damage and cleansing of the liver, and of course citrus fruits like grapefruit, and blueberries and cranberries are great for their antioxidants, which support your liver health. Beetroot juice is another one that has been long used to help detoxify the liver, repair minor damage. So if you do find out that you have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease or feel you are on your way there, this is a great preemptive thing you can do. Just having a small shot or two of beetroot juice every day will help show love to your liver. And of course, things that are great for our liver and our overall health include having a diet rich in omega-3 fatty acids and cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, lettuce and kale. And extra virgin olive oil is not only great for so many other health benefits, but it actually helps to increase the amount of enzymes your liver creates. So extra virgin olive oil is great for your liver. So above and beyond making some small daily changes to support your kidney and liver health, I truly recommend cleaning out your body's filters at least once a year. That means taking a period of 7 to 10 days where you plan and prepare so that you can cleanse your filters and they can start fresh, ready for a new year. Now, ultimately, it would be great to do this 3-4 times a year, but even once a year will give them a break and allow them to reset. Our body, as I've said before, is amazing. It has an amazing ability to heal and repair itself if we just get out of its way. And so I'm going to give you 5 things that you can do for 7 days to cleanse your body. Now, some of these might be easy and some of them might be more challenging. What I suggest is after you go through the list, find the one that you think is going to be the most challenging and then set yourself a reward for when you're done that. You can choose one big reward for the end of the 7 days. What I like to do is to set up for success. I will choose a reward that will grow based on the number of days that I complete the challenge. This sort of gamifies the challenge and makes it a little more fun and less tedious or challenging. So I may decide that if I can do the 5 things for one day, I get to go and get a manicure. If I can do it for 2 days, I'm getting a mani and a pedi. 3 days, I'm gonna add in a facial mask, and so on and so on. Ideally, you want to choose things that are not food. Maybe you want to binge out on your favorite show, and you don't do that regularly, so you set aside a certain amount of time, and the time can grow as the days of success go by. That way, even if you only made it one day, you still have a reward for your efforts. But the more days that you succeed, the larger your reward grows. Personally, I find this a very rewarding way of taking on new challenges. Okay, so the 5 things that you can do for 7 to 10 days, 7 days, you can do anything for 7 days to help your body reset. Here we go. Number 1, make sure to drink at least 8 cups of water a day. This is key for both our filtration systems. They need water in order to flush everything out of them. 7 days of drinking that water, hopefully that will stick and you'll just keep going. But notice how you feel drinking more water. And I always like to think about plants. If we don't give them water, they start to droop. And we inadvertently start to droop too. When we don't have enough water, we feel fatigue, run down, a low level of energy. Getting that 6 to 8 glasses of water a day will help our energy levels on top of flushing our kidneys and our liver. And in one of those glasses of water each day, I want you to squeeze in some lemon juice. Even just a quarter of a lemon, squeeze it in there, drink it up. The enzymes in that will help to cleanse your liver and kidneys. Number 2, make sleep a priority. Plan to get at least 7 hours of sleep every night for 7 days. I know this may be hard for some people. We live in a culture where we seem to praise people who do not prioritize sleep, who work from dusk till dawn, or who say they'll sleep when they're dead. And the reality is you will die sooner if you do not prioritize sleep. It actually shortens your lifespan. And during our sleep, as I've talked about in previous episodes, important things happen. And one of the things that happen is our body is able to clean out. And that includes our filters, like our liver and kidneys. They are able to clean things out, to get rid of old cells that are not functioning properly, to regenerate new cells. And so we are literally breathing new life into our liver and kidneys when we allow our body the rest that it needs every night. Number 3, this is probably going to be a challenging one for some, but I promise you it'll be worth it. Number 3, avoid refined sugars. That doesn't mean you can't have anything sweet. Eat fruit, use a little maple syrup or a little raw local honey in your food to sweeten things up, but avoid anything in a package that has added sugars. Now, the first couple days are always the hardest because we go into withdrawal. But remember, you are not actually going through withdrawal. It is your microbiome that you have been feeding in your gut, and they are dying off, so they are sending signals to your brain screaming for sugar. But just because we crave it does not mean we have to eat it. And trust me, I was a sugar addict, and I get it. I also know from listening to Doc Amen, who's a world-renowned psychiatrist and who has done over 200,000 brain scans, that in fact, our brain reacts to sugar, especially high doses of sugar, like in processed foods, the same way it does to cocaine. Let me say that again. Processed sugar is as addictive as cocaine. And we know now not only what it does to our kidney and liver, but what it does to all parts of our body is poison. We are slowly poisoning ourselves with this super addictive substance. So I get how hard it is to give up. But for 7 days, giving your body a break so that it can heal and regenerate, you will reap the rewards for months afterwards. Number 4, avoid alcohol. So you're not going to want to plan this when you have a party coming up, especially this season with holidays and things, but I'm sure you can find a 7-day stretch where you can avoid alcohol. Your liver will thank you. And the last thing I want you to do for 7 days, number 5, move your body. Our bodies were not meant to sit, stare at TVs, sit at desks on computers or on our iPhones for 17 hours a day. We just weren't meant to do that. So get up and move your body, even 10 minutes a day. And it doesn't have to be vigorous exercise. It could even be a brisk walk. Walk like you're late for something for 10 minutes every day for 7 days. That's it. Notice how you feel before and how you feel after. And even if you don't feel different, know that you have shown love to your body. And after everything your body has done for you, I think it deserves 7 days of attention from you. Consider it a love letter to yourself once a year. That's it for today. I hope you found a few tidbits here that will help you. And until next time, stay healthy.